This is Gospel Earth 7 YouTube channel, where the timeless truth of the gospel is proclaimed to transform lives. This message from God's anointed servant will inspire and strengthen your faith.
As you look at Jabez, and you look at the life of Jabez, and you look at the conception of Jabez, and you look at the birth of Jabez, and you look at the surrounding of Jabez, and you look at the situation of Jabez, there are three things to see. Number one, sorrow. Number two, suffering. Number three, shame. And because of his circumstances, and because of his situation, and because of everything surrounding him, sorrow, suffering, shame. He woke up in the morning when he was still very young. He looked at his circumstances, he looked at his situation, he looked at everything around him, and all he saw, sorrow, suffering, and shame. Until he began to ask questions from the mother, and began to say, Mom, what's the problem here? I look at my surrounding, I look at my situation, I look at my circumstances, all I see, sorrow, suffering, shame. And then the mother began to tell the story. The mother began to say the evil things that had been on her and her family before Jabez was born. In fact, that was the very reason he gave this boy the name Jabez. Sorrow, suffering, shame. And then what will Jabez do? Before I tell you, I've read it already, but before I explain more to you about what Jabez did, I'm asking a question now. What do other young people do if they find out that their situation, their circumstances, their surrounding, everything is filled with sorrow, suffering, and shame? What do these young people do? Let me show you in Job chapter 21. Job chapter 21, verses 14 and 15. Therefore, they say unto God, depart from us. You know, those young people, whenever they find out, why is it like this with me? How is it before I was even born? My circumstances, my situation, my surrounding, everything filled with sorrow and suffering and shame. Why? So their attitude is, in this verse 14, they say unto God, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. They get angry at God. If you allowed that to happen to me before I was ever born, and all my surrounding situations, circumstances, everything sorrow, suffering, and shame, get away from me. Don't tell me to come to church. Don't tell me to read the Bible. Don't tell me that you love me. Don't tell me you want to do anything in my life. Depart from me. And you know how many young people are like that? They just get angry at God. They get angry at the Bible. They get angry at the church. They get angry at the pastor. They get angry at praying people. They get angry at church people. They get angry at religion. They get angry about everything because see my circumstances. And then in verse 15, what is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? The attitude is prayer, forget it. Bible reading, forget it. Christian fellowship, don't talk to me about that again. Because of their situation and because of what they find on ground, the sorrow and the suffering and the shame. In fact, look at this in verse 11. They send forth their little ones like a flock. Their children dance. They take to dancing, and they take to drinking, and they take to smoking, and they take to hooliganism, and they take to gangsterism. They say, well, since situation is like this, what do you expect me to do? Dancing, nightclub, and drinking. In fact, sometimes prostitution. Well, since already I'm born with sorrow and suffering and shame, I don't have the sense of any shame. You think that thing is shameful, prostitution? Leave me alone. Don't you know my name? My name is Jabez. And since sorrow is there already, suffering is there already, shame is there already, what do you want me to do? Leave me alone. You see, that is the attitude of very many young people because of what they discover in their lives. Other people, it will be violence. I am not happy. Why do you want to be happy? I don't have peace in my family. Why do you want to have peace in your family? There is suffering in my life. Why do you want enjoyment? Violence. And they are violent to anybody they see laughing, anybody they see happy, anybody they see smiling. They say, what's the matter with this fellow? I have sorrow, I have suffering, I have shame, and this one is smiling and laughing. They get violent, they become unhappy. Other people go to occultism. Because of my name, and because of my situation, and because of what I'm going through, occultism, they're looking for, you see that word occultism, the root word there actually means very secret. They're looking for secret power. They're saying, this sorrow in my life, this shame in my life, this suffering in my life, I'm going to look for a kind of secret power. I'll get into occultism. They'll get into covenant with the devil. Other people, they say, you father and mother, before I was born, you didn't prepare very well for me. You want to tell me that the pregnancy was an accident? How is it when I was born, you didn't make adequate preparation, and you're telling me stories, and you're talking about sorrow and suffering and shame? Or I'll show you. And so they'll begin to take the things at home, and they'll begin to go and sell them. Even the little things that remain at home, whether it's a chair or it's a mattress or whatever they say, you didn't prepare for me, and now I'm suffering. Because you brought me into this world, I will make you suffer. They steal from home. Other people just go to the street and they'll be sleeping under the bridge. Other people is begging, help a poor boy, help a poor boy. My father is dead. Even my mother is dead. The mother is at home. My mother is dead. I have nobody helping me. Help a poor boy. Let me survive. Let me survive. They'll take it to begging. But Jabez said, there is a way. When everything is dry, when everything looks like sorrow and suffering and shame, when everything looks like it's upside down, I will look up to the hills from whence my help cometh from the Lord that created the heavens and the earth. Instead of Jabez doing all these bad things, all these naughty things, what Jabez did is that Jabez did what? Jabez prayed. He cried unto the Lord. If you find in your family, if you find in your academic career, if you find in your very life, if you find all around you the sorrow and the suffering, shame, the best solution, the only solution, and the solution that will help you to be happy and turn everything around, is that you will call upon the Lord and you will pray. Everybody say, pray. That's what the Lord wants you to do. A praying youth. A praying youth, that whatever has happened in your family and whatever is happening in your life, the solution, that solution is that you will call upon the God of heaven. You will pray.